Hi guys, we are your CHS counselors. My name is Miss Goldman and I have students who have last names A through G.
And I'm Miss Johnston, and I have students on my caseload, last names H to O.
Everybody, I'm Mr. Cummins, and I work with students with last names P through Z.
And I'm Miss Areno. I am the career counselor and dual enrollment counselor.
Okay, today we're going to have you watch hopefully just a 20-minute video going over some registration information that we hope you will find helpful in picking out your courses for next year. We know you're super excited to go through all this exciting material. Woohoo! Let's do it again. So the first thing we're going to look at quickly are high school graduation requirements. These are aligned with college entrance requirements. So we're actually going to spend a little bit more time going over that terminology. So as a reminder, and for the rising ninth graders at CMS, the A through G requirements are just a set of courses that you need to complete with grades of C's or higher to be eligible to apply to four-year colleges when you're a senior. So A refers to our social science sequence, world history, US history, and government economics. B is the English requirement that you take all 4 years of high school. C refers to the math requirement, which is a minimum of math 1, 2, and 3 completed with a C- or higher. And as a reminder, competitive colleges, including the UC system, likes to see 4 years of math. The science requirement is biochem and physics, same as graduation requirements. You need 2 years of the same world language. We do recommend 3 years if you're interested in applying to more competitive college. So at Coronado High School, that would be French 1, 2, and 3, or Spanish 1, 2, and 3. You also need a year of visual or performing arts. That's the F requirement, and you will see a list of those classes on your course selection sheet. And then you need 1 year of a college prep elective. That's your G requirement. So terms and semesters. For rising ninth graders at CMS, please do not stress out about this information. You'll see it over and over again, and we promise you that it will make more sense once you start high school. But we are on a term and semester system. So term 1 starts in August and it ends in January, and there's 2 semesters or quarters. We use those terms interchangeably in term 1, where you will take 3 or 4 classes. And then there's 2 semesters, term 2, which is in the spring from January to June. And there's 2 semester quarters in that term as well. Each term course is equivalent to a year-long course. There will be 2 semester grades like you can see in the chart below. Semesters are 9 weeks long and each term has 2 semesters. At the end of each semester, you earn a final grade. These grades are final and they go on your CHS transcript, which is your official grade report that we will send to colleges when you're a senior. As a reminder, your A through G classes must be completed with a grade of C or higher, and you can earn up to 8 classes total a year with the block system that we're on now.
All right, so now you should be able to see a sample bell schedule. Those of you who are at high school are a little pretty familiar with the bell schedule, but for rising ninth graders at the middle school, this is what a sample bell schedule will look like. Now, next year, it's likely that we're moving to an 8:30 start, so this may change a little bit, but what you'll notice is that we do have block classes for about 90 minutes per class. With Wednesday being the only day that's different. You get out a little bit earlier on Wednesdays and classes are a little bit shorter on Wednesdays, but you can expect that each one of your classes per term is going to be longer than 90 minutes or about 90 minutes. For students in COSA, you will see that you have the 5th period classes, but that only applies to students who are in the COSA program. So on the 4x4 schedule, you can take up to 8 classes per year. Each class is a year long worth of curriculum, and you earn 10 credits per class. You may not choose which term you take your class unless it's an AP class that's designated for a particular term in the fall or spring, but most of our classes are not designated, so you will not be able to choose which term you take your classes. One thing that's great about the 4x4 is it does give you a ton of options, whether you want to take CTE classes or extra classes in a particular field. So you have lots of options to be able to explore all of your passions and interests. And if you do happen to slip up and get a D or an F along the way, there's a lot more options in terms of being able to remediate your classes and stay on track with your UC A through G requirements. Things to consider when you are choosing your classes is first to decide whether you want to take 6, 7, or 8 classes. If you play a sport, you may want to consider having an off-roll or taking hybrid PE during the term that you play the sport. So students in fall sports want to have an off-roll or hybrid PE in the fall. Students who play sports in the spring want to have off-roll or hybrid PE in the spring. And the big one being, if you play winter sports, you do want to have your off-roll or hybrid PE for term 1, because the majority of your season is going to take place in term 1. Also important that you keep your strengths in mind when you decide your schedule, because we don't want to overload you feeling like you have to take every single AP that's out there. We want to challenge you in classes that you like and that you do well in, and make sure we're supporting you in classes that you don't like so much and aren't as strong in. So make sure you keep your strengths in mind when you're putting together the classes that you want to take. Important that you are maintaining a good work-life balance, because while having a strong transcript is important for college, colleges are also looking for what makes you more than a student. So you want to make sure you have activities in your life that you're doing about what you're passionate about, or sports you play, or other things that you're interested in, so that when you apply to college, you'll have lots to talk about of what you're going to bring to their campus. Attendance is also really important when it comes to the 4x4, because we are doing a full year's worth of curriculum in half a year. Missing one day is essentially like missing 2 days. So that adds up very quickly, and it's very easy to fall behind if you miss a lot of school. So make sure that you're paying attention to your attendance and being here at school as much as you possibly can. One other thing to consider when you are putting together your schedule is whether or not you want to take an off-roll. An off-roll, for those who are not familiar, is essentially a free period where you don't have to be on campus for that particular period. The majority of our students who choose to have an off-roll tend to take it 4th period, because either they play sports or they have things going on the afternoon, like a job or internships or things like that. However, for some other students who have a hard time waking up in the morning and don't have as much going on in the afternoon, they may choose to have 1st period off, so they can start school at anywhere from 9:30 to possibly 10 o'clock, with next year's bell schedule moving to 8:30. So if you have trouble waking up, you may want to consider a 1st period off roll. If you have some stuff going on in the afternoon, you may choose to have a 4th period off roll, and you can choose to have an off roll one term and not have one the other. It's your choice when you build your schedule. So think about that when you're choosing your classes. And one last thing to keep in mind is that your off roll is not guaranteed. So sometimes, based on the classes you pick, they only line up in certain periods, and it may affect where your off roll falls. If that's the case, we will work with you to try to give you the off roll that you want, but it may involve changing some classes around. So just know that it's not guaranteed when you sign up for an off roll.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Cummins. So one thing you'll hear us talk about a lot is sequencing. Sequencing is when you take 2 classes in the same school year in the same subject area back to back. So for example, you take Math 1 in the fall, and then the same year in the spring, you take Math 2. We allow this in our world languages and math department. So just keep in mind, when you're filling out your course selection sheet, you will have the option to sequence in math and world languages. Consider AP and honors courses. So when you're looking at your course selection sheet, you'll notice that all of our AP and honors courses are bolded. What that means is they're weighted in your GPA. So when you take an AP or an honors course, you do get a GPA boost on your transcript for taking those higher level classes. AP courses are college level courses. They do have an optional exam that's offered in the spring. If you score well, you can potentially place out of that class at the college level. Here we also have a list of our upcoming honors courses that will be available for the next school year. Okay, here is just a sample 4x4 schedule. You'll have a lot more to look at in your registration packet, but this example student has 7 classes for this school year. They've chosen 3 for the fall, so they'll have English, math, a world language, and then an off period. And in the spring, they'll have 4 with their science, PE, another math, and then a visual performing art class. Oh boy.
Great, thank you, Ms. Goldman. So I'm going to talk a little bit about dual enrollment and CTE classes that we have here at Coronado High School. Dual enrollment is a partnership that we have with Southwestern College, which a professor from Southwestern College comes on the Coronado High School campus and teaches a college level course. So this is a great opportunity for students. We offer 2 courses per term, And these classes are actually weighted on your high school transcript. They'll be put on there, and then you will submit them to colleges for credit, and as well as on your applications. There's some flexibility usually with these classes. They're offered period one, generally 2 to 3 days a week. And it really helps with your duplication of coursework in college. Let's say you're interested in going into business. If you do a business class here, you can go automatically up to Business 102 in college, since you've already met that first requirement. So these are just some things to consider for our dual enrollment. For next year, we are having the 4 classes. The first 2 will be Introduction to Business and American Sign Language. We're having business this spring term, and it's our first in-person class in a couple years since COVID. So we're very excited about that. We will be offering that again in the fall. And then American Sign Language, this is 5 college units, and the 1 semester will actually fulfill your 2 years admissions requirements for CSUs and UCs. So that's something else to consider if you would like to use that as meeting your world language requirement. And then in the spring, we are offering medical terminology. So this would be for any students that are interested at all in any type of the medical field or in science, because there's a lot of the same the terminology. And then we have Mexican and Mexican American cultures in the United States. We're very excited to be offering this course. It's the first time they will be offering it at a high school, and the CSUs require students to take ethnic studies before they graduate, and some UCs are going in that direction as well. And this class will meet that requirement. So if you take this, you automatically will meet that requirement for CSUs and some UCs. So make sure if you're interested with these classes to select them on your course request form. And there is a Southwestern College process, registration process to complete in order to take this class. So you need to complete this within a few weeks before you begin the class. So just know that that is part of the process as well. Now, career technical education, CTE at Coronado High School, we have 9 different pathways as far as what Coronado High School students can take. And then we have 8 additional pathways for COSA students. So these are pathways that are really connecting students with their interests to prepare them for college and or career. So some reasons that you should take CTE classes are they help with real world hands-on experience. You can get some internships and work-based learning opportunities potentially. They're infused with essential skills to prepare you for college and career. And we have several of the pathways that offer industry certifications so that you can put on resumes or college applications. And also these can really help set you apart in the college admissions process. Now, the 5 CTE pathways that we have, the sectors are arts, media, and entertainment sector, health, science, and medical technology, information and communication technology, building and construction, and engineering and architecture. So each of these, the pathways are listed on each of these slides. So for example, the graphic design pathway, it's ideal if you take the digital media foundations in order to prepare you for the graphic design class. And then you can go on and on with moving into video game design. Now, digital arts has a little bit of flexibility within its pathway. So there's some different ways that you can go. And then we also have our stagecraft, our technical theater, that even if you're not in COSA, we still have that class that you can take as a Coronado High School student. Now, for the health science and medical technology, this is a very exciting. We have a new biomedical science pathway that was just started this year. So we're offering human body systems, which is an honors course, as well as biomedical innovation that will be added next year. Now, these are very hands-on classes, a lot of projects and very lab-based. So if you're interested at all in the medical field and lab science or research, these would both be really great classes for you. And also they're honors weighted within the UC and CSU system, as well as your high school transcript. Now we have our computer science pathway and woodworking pathway. So these are some different options that you can have. For computer science, you do need to start with the AP computer science principles, and then you have a couple different options. We will be offering the cybersecurity next year as well. And woodworking, that is the pathway for that. It's a great really great class. And then we have 20 new in 22, 23. It's very exciting. We're adding an engineering pathway. So you will start with the honors project Lead the Way, Principles of Engineering. This is an honors UC course, and then you would go to the engineering development and design. Now, these are going to be really great classes if you're interested at all in any area of engineering, and we'll really prepare you, and we'll have a great lab space for this, and it'll be very project-based again. So these are some of the new classes that I just spoke about are on this list. So we are having all of the honors project Lead the Way with the biomedical science and engineering. We also offer journalism and speech and debate this year for the first time. And then next year we will be offering broadcasting and guitar. So those are some classes to look forward to that you can select. And then we also have several other electives that we really great classes that we have here in every subject area. So please make sure to look at these if you're interested at all. Please take them, and we have different levels also that aren't listed on here, but we have very many exciting classes for you to take. So make sure that you think about these in order to sign up for next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Reno. So your next steps, we want to make sure you can log into Student View or Synergy to actually input your courses that you want to take next year. We have a video for you that you will be able to access from this presentation to watch how to log into Synergy to enter your classes. You do have homework. Sorry, counselors are giving you homework. We've made 4 grade level specific videos. So for rising 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students, please watch your grade level video for more information that's just about your class and how to fill out the course selection sheet for your grade level. And then we also have a video on dual enrollment and CTE classes. So please watch that too, so you know what we're offering next year. For our students at CHS, next week, you'll be manually entering your courses into Student View, so you'll have them in the computer, and then you'll meet with us, one of us, one-on-one individually throughout the spring to pick your classes and finalize them before June 16th. That's the last day that you'll be able to make changes to your schedule for next year.
And just a reminder, this will be posted on the Counseling Center Power School page, so you can access all of the live links.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.